And so we have a bonus session for you right now about how to secure your success. It's an unannounced bonus. I just finished it. So I want to teach you some more stuff about securing your success and guaranteeing your success and what it takes. And so I want to ask you, why were you called to be here in this room with us? I believe that is because you have a bigger future vision of yourself. Somewhere within you, you know that your soul is calling for expansion and growth. Yes? Yeah. You wouldn't come to a mindset retreat if you weren't looking for growth. And what that tells me about you, because of the reason why you're here, it's that you are an advancing entrepreneur. You're ready for progress. Now, what's progress? Progress is a combination of taking big, bold action and of continuous forward motion. Deep breath in. And you know what? In life, the training never stops. If you want a really, really great life, look at me in my eyes. You must invest in yourself. Does that make sense? Yes. You must invest of your time, of your energy, of your effort, and of your financial resources. Do you remember when Lucy said, it's when I stepped in and said, okay, here, that the universe says, oh, so now you're serious. Now I get it. And we talked about the fact that you are your greatest investment. I believe that each of us is meant for something really great. That our rock that we put in that placid lake is massive. The potential of our rock is massive in each of us to create a huge ripple effect. But here's what happens. When we are left to our own devices, very few people reach their potential. That's the sad truth. And without guidance, without support, without accountability, it's difficult to play big consistently. Yeah, we play big for a little bit and then 2 steps back. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Because we don't have the guidance and the support and the accountability that we need to stay playing bigger consistently. Why? There are just too many obstacles. Right, guys? There are just too many obstacles. And alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. Now, applying best practices to your business is the fuel that allows common people like us. I'm common. We all are. But best practices is the fuel that allows us to achieve uncommon results. Are these uncommon results? You don't hear that kind of growth out there in the muggle world. It happens in here, in the client attraction vortex. The power of accountability creates the big breakthroughs. Do you remember the law of association that we talked about a couple times? Who you associate with shapes who you are. Who you listen to and who you take advice from dictates your income. You heard it here. Who you spend your time with is who you quickly become. Now, we talked about this last night. It doesn't mean ditch your friends and family. It means add some new people to the mix, right? People who think positively about their future. People who think positively about your future and your potential and your capability. They look at you and they see you as a bigger version of who you see yourself to be. I want to hang out with people like that. What about you? Yeah. People who have best practices that you need. People who have an abundance mindset. People with the same values about growth that you have. And people who are already where you want to be or happily getting there. Now, what you achieve in your life is in direct correlation of the expectations of your mentors and peer groups. If you are constantly and consistently supported to play bigger, will you play bigger? Remember, your environment is everything. If your environment is continually inviting you and championing you to play bigger, if your mentors are people who continually play bigger, then naturally you too will play bigger. So my question for you is, what does your current peer group talk about and complain about? Deep breath in. And what does your current peer group let you get away with? Environment is everything. And when you see structured peer environments, you see members that are achieving greater results because of accountability, right? Structured peer environments spark their members to achieve a higher level of accountability. The right mentorship turns years into months and months into days. You heard it here. The right mentorship allows you to accomplish so much more. The right mentorship allows you to just pop in the step-by-step guidance that is given to you, right? The right mentorship gives you that guidance that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. Because remember, you don't know what you don't know. And the right mentorship pays for itself in the form of new clients, new business, bigger opportunities. You saw it here. Unconditional support, like truly unconditional, I believe in you and what you're here to do, that kind of support helps you create uncommon results. Accountability keeps you honest and moving forward. True? Yes. And then it was mentioned here. An unspoken sense of healthy competition is really good, right? You don't want to show up 90 days later or 120 days later and not have done anything, right? So it's not competition, but it's like, I better get my stuff done. When you're poorly supported, there's no expert coaching and there's no best practices. When you're poorly supported, there's no accountability and there's no peer support. There's no skin in the game type of commitment. You know what I mean. There's two levels of commitment. There's the commitment and there's the I got skin in the game, I got to do my stuff. Are you with me? Yeah. And when you don't have the right support, there's no encouragement. The minute you hit a bump in the road, you stop. Because one, there's no encouragement, and there's nobody telling you how to get over the bump in the road because they've been there before and they know the best practices. So people who don't have the right support go really slowly. Does that make sense? How do I know all this? Been there, done that. I tried the DIY approach. I'm going to do it myself. First, doing it myself with nothing, and then like kind of pretending, like trying to do it with other people who didn't know what they were doing. It didn't work. I was frustrated. I lost time, precious time. And there's another thing, is that entrepreneurs are some of the most overwhelmed people on the planet, would you say? Yes. Yeah, because it's all on us. We've got to make everything happen. And so when you're overwhelmed with all these different things that you could be doing, you don't know what you don't know about what's actually going to work. Like Lucy said. Lucy said, there's just so much to do. They've already vetted it. They've already tried it. And they give you what works. That's what you want in your life. At least this is what I want in my life. I don't want to have to figure it out. I just want somebody to tell me what to do. Anybody else? Yeah. Everybody is silently begging to be led. So who are you being led by right now? Entrepreneurs are also some of the loneliest people on the planet. Is it true? People just don't get us. Our family doesn't always believe in us. We can't go ring the doorbell and say, I had my highest month ever. I made $196,000 last month. Can you do that? To your neighbors? Come on. You can't. Who are you going to say that to? You're going to call your cousin? Your sister? Your best friend? Not even. They don't get us. Are you going to tell your team member exactly how much? No, you're not going to tell your virtual assistant. Then she's going to up her rates. You can't tell your vendors. They're going to double their prices. So who are you going to talk to? My question to you is, when is an entrepreneur most productive and confident? It's when we are shown exactly what to do and how to do it. Exactly how to do it. When are we most supported and confident? Is when we have structure and accountability. It's when we regularly associate with other advancing entrepreneurs instead of the blind leading the blind. You ever been in a group of people who, like, there's no leader and nobody knows what's going on, and you're taking advice from people who've never done it? That's the blind leading the blind. So, we've been talking about this term, the advancing entrepreneur. What is an advancing entrepreneur? What is the mark of an advancing entrepreneur? Well, they are people who don't reinvent the wheel. They're smart enough not to have to figure it out on their own, right? They learn best practices from those who've already mastered it. They continually invest in themselves. They just see the return on investment. Like Kate said, right? Every time I work with Fabienne and Derek, I make more money. She's a smart woman. She doesn't unplug from what's working. Advancing entrepreneurs surround themselves with other advancing entrepreneurs. That's part of the gig, right? That's what keeps the ball rolling. And they are willing to do whatever it takes. They take chances when other people won't. Deep breath in. Advancing entrepreneurs borrow other people's mastery. They borrow other people's 10,000 hours to shorten their own learning curve. They model already successful people. Is that how you do it? Great, I want to do that too. They're not too cool for school. They know and they believe in continuous learning because it works. Advancing entrepreneurs seek out systems that already work. Do you see how that could save so much time and effort and money? And they don't rest on their laurels. They know that advancement is key for them. And they always ask themselves, what's next? What's my next move? And so you may be asking yourself, what's my next move? What's my next move after this 3-day experience? And some have already asked. Last night, I saw at the VIP lunch, people talking about it. What are my options for ongoing coaching with you and Derek? If this speaks to you, great. If it doesn't, great. But I want to tell you about the Client Attraction Business School for a couple minutes. Would you like to hear about it? Yes. Okay. The Client Attraction Business School started as a coaching program 10, 15 years ago. And it's evolved greatly since because of mastery, because of working with thousands of entrepreneurs. And recently, in the last couple of years, I surveyed the landscape of business coaching. And what I realized is that standard business coaching is not meeting the needs of the advancing entrepreneur. Reason why is excluding people in this room, of course. The reason why is that most business coaches have not experienced the success. They're teaching from a book or from a course that they did not create. They're loosey-goosey. They sit and say, well, what do you think you should do to get more clients? That's not what you want to pay for, right? And a lot of people simply haven't experienced massive success in their own business. And so they're coaching on things they have no idea about, so they don't have the subtle nuances and all of that stuff that's necessary to help you turn those years into months and months into days. As an advancing entrepreneur, do you want to avoid confusion? Yeah, me too. I don't want to be confused. And I only want to do things that will produce results. What about you? Yeah. You don't want to waste your time. You already don't have a lot of time. Don't waste it on stuff that doesn't work. You want to be shown exactly what to do, yes? Yeah. But most importantly, exactly how to do it. Because that's kind of what business is often like up there. Raise your hand. Tell me the truth. Yes. And so what you want as an advancing entrepreneur are proven strategies that are already laid out for you in a step-by-step lesson plan. Yes? When you have this step-by-step lesson plan and the exactly how, it allows you to take faster action. And with faster action come faster results. Advancing entrepreneurs sometimes feel isolated and misunderstood. Would you say? Because of this, if you want to thrive, you need an environment where you can really be you. You know what I mean? Like the most authentic you, and know that people get you, and dare I say, love you. Right? They let you be you, and you thrive in a community that champions you. Yes? Or do you thrive in a community of naysayers? No, a community that champions you. And a community that keeps you in the vortex. Now, you are likely someone, I'm only guessing because I kind of know about entrepreneurs a lot. You are likely someone who gets sidetracked by bright, shiny objects. Squirrel. Squirrel. And if you're like me, because I'm the same, you thrive when you have structure, accountability, and regular check-ins. Yes? Yes. So, you thrive when you have access to a coach so that you stay on track and you produce results faster. Is that true? Having that step-by-step guidance and that best practices leads to faster results. Makes sense. Having a supportive community and accountability leads to confidence. Confidence touches every single part of your business. If you don't have confidence, are you going to close the sale? If you don't have confidence, are you going to go out there and speak and nail it? No. If you don't have confidence, are you going to reach out to that joint venture or that strategic alliance and partner up? No. Confidence touches. If you don't have confidence, are you going to double your rates? Nope. But when you have that supportive community and the accountability, you have that confidence because people are championing you. And that is when you achieve so much more than you ever would on your own. So that's business coaching. And I also looked at the traditional business school model. Traditional business schools don't provide this. As I understand it, traditional business schools are not made for us entrepreneurs. No, right? I've had clients who've gone to traditional business schools, and they said, I came out after $140,000, and I still didn't know how to get a client. And they're carrying all that debt. You're not getting the accountability. You're not getting the curriculum you need. You're not getting the coaching. And you're not getting that like yummy, loving community that champions you. And so you're not getting any of that. And besides, traditional business schools charge upwards of $40,000 a year. Can you do that in your business when you're first starting out, $40,000 a year? Traditional business schools are not built for us. And this is why we created the Client Attraction Business School. It is the combination of business school curriculum, but for us, with the coaching, created for how you're wired. Because we are wired differently, aren't we? Now, who's it for? I have a video to show you.
As an entrepreneur, you're either confidently taking your business to the next level or you're going nowhere fast. In fact, if you're like 95% of business owners, you're here in the area of inertia. You're playing your game alone with no plan, no clarity, and thinking too small. You don't know what you don't know. And despite working hard, you're not progressing. You keep getting the same underwhelming results, leaving money on the table and wasting precious time and effort. If you're in the building stages of your business, you're like Ramp Up Rachel. You're smart, motivated, and have a lot to offer your clients. You love what you do, but you feel you should be making more money. And truth be told, lately, you've been wondering if this is really what you were meant to be doing. If you're more established as an entrepreneur, you may relate to Leverage Larry, making good money, but looking after so many clients, you're struggling to keep up. Instead of a business, you've created a JOB for yourself. Normally a high achiever, you're swamped by your to-do list and feel guilty about neglecting those who really matter to you. Or perhaps you have more in common with visionary Vicky. You make a very good living from your very successful business, but you're still working in it instead of running it like a CEO. You want to scale up to $1 million business that will endure, but your current infrastructure holds you back. If you're one of the 5% of truly successful entrepreneurs, on the other hand, you're here in the area of progress. These business owners are winning. They have systems, best practices, and strategies in place, which they work consistently and decisively, taking the necessary steps to raise their game. They have the right marketing and mindset, detailed step-by-step guidance, daily accountability, and the encouragement of a group of like-minded mentors and peers. They have a clear view of their next move and the confidence to take it. So, how do they do it? What is the missing structure in this diagram? By identifying your business life stage and joining the corresponding Client Attraction Business School track, you'll gain access to expert, high-level coaching, offering a unique curriculum based on your specific needs right now. You'll learn what to do and exactly how to do it, all with the support of other high-achieving entrepreneurs inspiring you to play a bigger game. And by implementing what you've learned right away, you'll likely recoup your investment within the first few months. Most make it back 2 to 3 times over, if not more. Take decisive action now and get the detailed knowledge and unconditional support you need to generate the income you want, take your business to the next level, and make a difference in the world. Fill out the Client Attraction Business School application to see which entrepreneurial profile you belong in, and hand it in today.
So now that you know who you are and what you need most, I want to spend 1 minute on this right here. This describes the Client Attraction Business School. There is a letter from me. It's actually a love note. There is a description of the different tracks. So when you open it up, you'll see this is what we do. This is the growth track. So what I would like for you to do, whether you're interested or not, it's really interesting to look at who you are, what your challenges tend to be, what you need most right now. Do you want to know what you need most right now at your stage of business? Then this is your assignment, is to read this. And then, if you're interested, there are details about the growth track of the business school. You flip, and then success stories for the growth track, okay? Because you heard some here, but I want you to hear from a lot more people. You flip the page, and you hear about who you are in terms of leverage, what your challenges tend to be, and what you need most right now. Do you want to know what you need most right now? It's spelled out right here. The details of leverage and all of that, and then more success stories. Dates for the next meetings, if you're interested. everyone has questions, right? All your questions are answered right here. Any question that you have in your mind right now is answered right here. So, I'm going to send you off on a dinner break. Deep breath in. On that dinner break, I would like for you to read this packet. And I have a homework assignment for you tonight. You had a homework assignment last night. And there's a homework assignment tonight. And how you do anything is how you do everything. Now, some of you in this room are like, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for. Thank you so very much. And if that's the case, I would like for you to take the confidential application and fill it out. I want to read this to you. It's written by a very wise person. Successful people take decisive action. They don't overthink everything. Rather, they trust their gut. When they are presented with that opportunity that answers their greatest challenge, they say yes to it immediately, knowing that it was divinely given. They don't hesitate. They don't delay. They know that because the opportunity was presented, that it was meant to be. This is the one universal characteristic that makes them successful and helps them create results that astound all others around them. Your assignment for tonight. So I'm going to send you on a dinner break, then we're going to come back. We're going to come back at what time? 7? Team? 7:15. We're going to come back at 7:15 for an evening session and the makeovers. You got to be in it to win it. Okay? So, during dinner, begin filling this out. After our evening session, begin filling this out. If you are interested in joining us, hand it in right away. We consider students of the Client Attraction Business School in the order that they come in. Why do you think that is? Decisive action. Somebody who takes decisive action, I'm going to be really interested in seeing who that is. Yeah? Even if you're not interested, I want you to fill it out for you and bring it in tomorrow. It is a gap analysis. Do you know what that means? What is a gap analysis? Helps you see where you are now and where you want to be. There are a lot of people, like some people on the success panel, who had no idea where they wanted to be 12 months from now. This will ask you the pointed questions that will help you figure out what are the projects that you need to be working on if you want to be at that next level. How much money do you want to make next year? How much are you forecasted to make this year? All those questions that busy entrepreneurs don't always ask themselves, because we're going to be discussing it tomorrow morning. So, who's going to do their assignment? I want to see all hands raised. Okay? You come in here. Now, there are some folks who say, I know I want to do this. I just want to take some time to think about it. Let me come back in a few months. What that triggers is a universal law called the law of diminishing intent. Do you know what that means? The law of diminishing intent states that the longer the time you put between doing something you want and the current moment, the higher the likelihood is that you won't do for yourself the thing that you really want to do for yourself. Is that true? So, I want to help you with the law of diminishing intent, which is why we have a bonus. We have a bonus gift. If you decide to join us in the Client Attraction Business School, while you're here, and guess what? I'm not attached to whether you join us or not. Is that cool? I love you either way. But I know that some people really require the resources needed to get to the next level. You heard it here, right? So if you decide that you want to join us in the Client Attraction Business School, you will receive a full day, 2014 Strategic Planning Day with me. All paid for by me. It's going to be at the Stamford Yacht Club, right on the water. I pay for breakfast and I pay for lunch. And I love you up. And for a full day, we're going to plan out your entire 2014. That sound good? So, if it speaks to you, hand in your completed application, and when you hand it in, before the end of tomorrow's morning break. Remember, I look at them as they come in and I see who's decisive. So I just want you to know. You hand in your application and your program starts tomorrow. Awesome. You can do that. Yes. Your program starts tomorrow with an orientation and celebration lunch with me, Derek, our entire team at Client Attraction, and all the new CAB students that are coming in. So you get to meet your peeps and your tribe starting tomorrow. So, I want to leave you here before I send you out to dinner to fill out your application, your gap analysis, to read through to see if this speaks to you or not, with a quote by my dear friend John Assaraf. When I heard this, it's like the seas parted. It was like everything changed for me because it was really, for me, it really spoke to me. He said, when you're interested, you do what's convenient. If you're only interested in a certain result, you'll do the minimal, you do what's convenient. However, when you're committed to that big vision, to that future, to that result, you will do whatever it takes. Here's to you creating a massive ripple effect. So here's to you being simply the best. Have a wonderful dinner, and I will see you back here at 7:15. See you then.